Okay. Who came last week? So I guess I just wanted to start off by just a really brief recap on last week. Today we're going to be getting into talking about macronutrients, so the amount of carbs, fat and protein in each food. But I don't want us to get overly carried away in that's not the whole picture in food, okay? So just going back to what we were talking about last week, that we want to make sure that our diet's made of whole foods. All calories are not created equal, so the carbohydrates that you're going to be getting from some processed corn oil chocolate bar versus the carbohydrate that you're going to be getting from some fruit are two different things in terms of the other vitamins and minerals that come along with those, and fibre and things like that. So that's always going to be your number one. As we get into working out some of the quantities and things, you may get to the end and decide this isn't something that you want to get involved in, and in which case just come back to eating whole foods and you'll pretty much do well in terms of looking after your health. But if you've got some specific goals either around your performance or your body composition and things, then playing around with macronutrients and the amount of foods that you get in can be a really useful thing to do. It can be a useful thing to look at if you feel like you're not recovering from your training the way you'd like to, or not building muscle strength the way that you'd like to as well. So it can be good to come back and have a look at how you're balancing these things out. Just to bear in mind that some people totally lose their mind when they try and measure everything with food, and it's easy to do, and particularly if you've had any sort of disordered eating problems in the past, you're probably better to steer clear than getting super excited about all of the numbers. But again, can be a useful tool for some of us. It requires quite a bit of preparation, okay, so hopefully some of the things we talked about last week in regards to preparation will help you sort of be ready for moving forward with this stuff if you decide to. Did anyone do anything different in the last week after having our talk? Yes? Yeah. Good. Do you want to share?
I made my own almond milk.
Was it delicious?
Yes, it was delicious. Very easy.
Good.
Yeah.
Really
Took me a whole 3 minutes.
Yeah.
If you don't include the soaking for in 12 hours. But I left it for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Just on the bench and then did it the next night. It was so easy.
Cool. And taste was good.
Yeah, it tastes really good.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I have leftover nearly stuff too, so I dried that. I thought I'll use that for something.
Yeah. Cool.
I just had a lot more veggies.
Awesome.
Woo.
Cool. Great. Good stuff. Cool. So, first off, just getting. Can you try and see that screen? Let's start with reading the booklet anyway. Did anyone not get a book? So just quickly on what is a macronutrient. So we're talking about the carbohydrates, the fats and the proteins. So carbohydrates are our sugars, starches and fibre. Okay, so what are regularly found in vegetables and grains and like the likes of your rice and things like that, your carbohydrates. Fat is made up of triglycerides. So these are pretty important for the body's processes, aid in digestion, and transport, conversion and energy extraction. We can't survive without it, okay? So all bad is bad. And then protein. So protein is made up of your amino acids, and those are the building blocks of our muscle. Okay, so we need all of these things. Something just to bear in mind is that protein and carbohydrate are about 4 calories a gram, and fat provides about 9 calories a gram. So it's much easier to take in large quantities of fat just because it's calorie dense. So to get going on just working out approximately where you should probably sit in terms of your energy usage, you first calculate your resting energy requirements, and we're going to do that in a wee tick, and then multiply that by your activity level. So that one's always a wee bit tricky, like working out what exactly is my activity level. And again, as I discussed last week, like we're not computers, and as much as we can do a calculation and work something out today, it generally is going to take a little bit of tinkering for you to work out exactly if that's what's right for you. But this is a good baseline, okay, to work from. But things that are going to affect your activity level are how many times a week probably that you train here, and then what do you do in your day-to-day life. So if you're constantly on your feet walking around at work, that's going to be slightly different to the person that's at sitting at a desk for most of the day. Likewise, if if you're building or doing farming or things that are using a lot of energy, using your body throughout the day, it's going to be different again. And then once we work out to that baseline, you can add or subtract the amount of energy that you take in based on your goals. So if you're looking to build muscle, you're going to have to be an energy surplus and taking in slightly more food. If you're looking to lose body fat, other way around. Okay, so you're going to bring the amount of total calories down. And then we spread these calories around our macronutrients, and I'll talk about some ways that we can do that. Your future depends mostly on many things, but mostly on you. So I think it's useful just to bear in mind that if what you're doing now is not allowing you to achieve what you currently want, you have to be prepared to have some level of change. Okay, and that's always the tough bit. Okay, to change things is very difficult, particularly around eating and the way that we eat, because they're very habitual things. But just bear that in mind. It's not necessarily going to be easy, and getting into this macronutrient stuff does take a little bit of energy to sort out. Okay, calculators. Have your calculator handy. So this little calculation here is, I think, written in your booklet, and also there's some links there to different online calculators that you can use that will do this all for you. Okay, but to start off with, you're going to go 10 times your body weight. Work out what that is. And you're going to add on to that 6.25 times your height in centimetres. Right, shall we write your one up here? Okay. Has everyone got that far? This is so technical, isn't it? Oh, wait. Yeah, when you go to number.
5 times 25.
Well, no, I wasn't yelling anything else.
Good number? What do you got, Phil?
18, 25.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Nelson, what do you got?
Calories next month.
Yeah, I'm sure you're the same as a 25-year-old, 25 kilo man.
I'm sorry.
What do you weigh, Nelson?
You only need to do the breakfast for
Okay, so
one
that's
person.
yours. 13, 17.
You round up.
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, but it's all over the plus, because as soon as you get to that minus one, it's too late to worry about the
I don't
breakfast.
have pregnancy factor with mine.
Yeah, no.
It's quite low. You should consume more calories than that. She's eating a lot more than that.
An extra 500.
So that would be 90 calories to lose weight.
Was it really?
I can eat a bit lower. Yeah, I don't know. I can eat a lot more than you.
It would probably be quite a lot.
Yeah, that's accurate number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking this.
Calculating the amount of energy your body just uses just being alive, so you haven't actually moved around yet.
I was thinking that for 2-1-50.
Who's still battling?
He doesn't need
You're gonna
anything.
get your answer. You got a number for Dave?
Fair enough.
Yeah, they're good.
Sure.
Okay. So once we've got that number, which is our resting energy requirements, we're then going to have a look at an activity level. So if we're training over 3 times a week, you're probably going to multiply that by about 1.5. And then if you've got quite an active job as well, you're probably going to multiply that by 1.7. So that number that you just got, multiply that.
So that's only on the days you exercise, though, is it? True?
No, we're just getting a,
You work like-
average.
Yeah.
We're not going to calculate the days of the week.
Sorry, what were those numbers, Rick?
So if you're very, very active, it's going to be 1.7. If you're moderately active, times it by 1.5. And
Oh,
if
shit.
you're
Big number.
so
That's black. So he's currently training about 15 times a week. So we're in the high category, and it comes out to 2,941 calories for the day. Has everyone managed to get a number?
Quick question, sorry Bruce. So we work out females line?
Yeah.
So we minus 161. Yeah.
Okay. From this number here, you can think about what your goals are. So if you're looking to lose body fat, you can bring your calories back by 20% at most. And if you're looking to gain muscle, normally adding around about 500 calories a day is about what it needs to be. Okay. So if you know one of those, otherwise if you're maintaining, you're just sticking with the number you already have. Have we still got a number? Okay. So there's heaps of different ways that you can break out carbs, fat and protein. But if you've never done this before and never played around with this, the zone diet is a really good place to start, and that gives you a 40-30-30. So based on this is By standard measures of carbohydrates, this is actually a slightly low carbohydrate diet. It's not super low, it's not ketogenic, it's just lower than sort of a standard, probably a standard New Zealand diet is about half, about 50% carbohydrates. So this is bringing it back a little bit, and then equal portions of fat and protein. Just bearing in mind that the calories, right there. So you get 4 grams of. I need to bring it up. Did I say it wrong? Protein and carbohydrate. Growth. 4 calories per gram. And fat is 9 calories per gram. So just because you've got 30% of fat, it's not going to be 30% of your plate. Does that make sense? So, if we take 40% of your number that you've got,
What is that, REE?
no, the total number that you've got to at the end of calculating your activity levels and goals. That's going to be the amount of food from carbohydrates.
Sorry, Ruth, I missed that calculation.
40% of whatever your number is going to be the amount of calories that comes from carbohydrate. Just work out 40% of your, what is your number, Phil?
It's 1295 now, doing the 40%.
Yes. That'd be right. That's calories. We all got that? And then your 30% to work out how much proteins and fats. And have you got some numbers there?
I got 3,100 just for maintenance.
Yes, yeah. Good.
Yeah.
So about 1,500 of your...
I need to add on that just to...
Yeah, what's 40% of 3,100? Just go times 24. That's just moderate.
12.2.
12.2. Okay, so 1,200 of your calories are going to come from carbohydrates. Okay. So if you then take this number and divide it by 4, that's going to give you the grams of carbohydrate. If you divide your protein number by 4, that's going to give you the grams of protein. But for your fat number, you're going to divide it by 9 because there's 9 calories per gram. So you should now be able to have a figure for the grams of carbohydrate, the grams of protein, and the grams of fat.
What did you divide the fat by?
9.
No, I've just used it. What one? No. Oh, actually it is.
Is it?
Yeah, sorry. It was a hard workout.
Alright, someone give me their numbers. Great, how'd you go?
Assuming mine are right, I would have 181 grams of carbs,
Yep.
136 of protein,
Yep.
and 60.3
Yes, that sounds good. Good.
That's per day, isn't it?
It's per day. Yeah. You got one?
Yeah, just based on maintenance.
Maintenance, yeah.
210 carbs, 157 protein, and 70 grams of fat.
Cool. Alright. Cool. Is anyone feeling a bit lost at this point? Feel like you've all got 3 numbers there? That's
Got options for that position.
it? 15. Oh, okay. I probably should have asked sooner.
Stuff is in, stuff out.
Don't you mark it again?
No, it's fine. There's a matrix one. That's roughly.
How much is in it?
Okay, so these are our numbers to hit for the day. And then you divide that over how many meals you regularly have. So if you normally have 2 meals a day, you might be getting in around 150 grams of carbohydrate each meal and over 100 grams of protein each meal. That would be kind of hard to do, but possible. 50 grams of fat. So some of you will be having 3 meals a day, some of you will be having 3 plus 2 snacks, things like that. So you can break it up however you like. But these are the macronutrients to hit for the day based on his goals of maintenance and being very active.
This is maintenance in mine.
That's maintenance in mind.
So, like, if you wanted a bog,
Our plates look different.
so much.
I'm doing that now. So see what it
You take Ruth's half plate and you eat it. She cuts you eat it.
Okay, so we'll get half the group to head over to that box there, and half the group to head to this box here. This box here is a bunch of different vegetables, starches, carbohydrates, and they're all 100 grams. So I'm going to get you guys to do what you think, rank the foods in the way that you think that would be greatest amount of carbohydrate in each of the foods, and then greatest amount of calories in each of the foods. Okay, so one based on, so number 1 will be the food that you consider the highest in carbohydrate, just from what seems correct in your mind, and then the one that you think is highest in calories will be number 1, and then break them down all the way down through. This box over here is a bunch of different snack type items, and same thing, except you're not allowed to read any of the nutritional labels. So you're just going to have a look based on what's written on the packet or what the food looks like, and just tell me, again, you're going to rank in your group. So we just need one person writing in each group, the amount of carbohydrate that you think is in each, and then the amount of calories that you think is in each, and just rank them that way. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Right, so let's split the groups, and then we'll swap you over in a few minutes. Decision.
Money or the bag?
Oh, eat it all day long. It's fine.
is.
No, it's fine. But
Phil's our spokesperson.
We
He's got the photos.
we used to tease people. We were like coming overseas and they would get like back to work and he got us here to Leslie.
That'll win him for not coming to nutrition class.
I am.
Rick is like,
I feed my
Rick
feeding her flowers.
what is he going to bring it?
What
All right.
And she's trying to.
Dan loves me.
She's like, yes.
All right, guys. So starting off with the snack food section. What did we have for this group here? What did you guys rank highest on carbohydrates?
The Starburst lollies.
Excellent. What about this group?
Same.
Cool. Correct. What did we rank second?
Can of Red Bull.
Oh, actually, we had the can of Red Bull first.
I was just
So we were wrong. Then we had the Starburst.
Okay. And then what did you have after that?
The fruit, those little ball things.
Oh, yeah. Fruit balls, yeah.
No, we had the Oaty slices and then the fruit balls.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we got. So, actually, second ranked highest was the Cliff Bar. It had 41 grams of carbohydrate in it.
Wow. Shit, we had that well down.
Which was pretty similar to that packet at Starbursts.
That's the one with the peanut butter in it, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bring it up.
Can you grab the track?
Read the label.
Yep, so the Starburst and the Cliff Bar had equal amounts of carbohydrates in. Let's not forget about food quality though. There might have been some decent quality things within the Cliff Bar, and probably it would have filled you more. Okay, so these are other tips to bear in mind. Third is the fruit balls at 35 grams. And then fourth, we have the protein bar, 27 grams. Who ranks that up there? Does rank this very high?
Not on carbs, no.
Yeah, so it's actually pretty high. Next up we have the banana.
No way.
So more carbohydrates in the protein bar than the banana.
Start drinking Red Bull now.
Sorry, the Red Bull's just sitting in front of the banana.
Dreams dashed.
Next is Em's cookies. So that little cookie thing was 19 grams, not very big though, considering how much sugar is in the carbohydrates in that, 19 grams. Next is the Primal Bar, 18. The Mother's Earth Bar is next. Half the avocado. And
So avocado had less,
apologies on the apple. The apple is sitting behind the banana. No, other way. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Carrot's got less carbs than avocado.
Yeah. But they're both really small, so it's much too much.
We got the carrot right. It's in water. Yeah, we got the carrot right.
Where's the carrot was high carbohydrate?
Yeah, we
No, we had those two around the other way.
Yeah.
That's right. So you
And
saw
the
it in
correct
there.
to it that you need to
It's like 5 or 6 grams. Cool. Okay. Calories. What do we get first for the calories?
Avocado.
Yeah. That's right.
Avocado, yes. What did you guys get?
Very close cluster between the three bars.
Just put the bars in a bunch.
I think we're about to read the labels.
So first up, do you want to do that? Yeah, thank you, lovely assistant. First up, we have the primal bar.
We had that.
Oh yeah!
It was sitting in front, just.
309 calories. So
That's a meal, Jesus.
you know, sort of like a paleo snack. 21 grams of fat in there as well. So that, and then 18 grams of carbohydrate, 15 grams of sugar. So that one gets pretty high on the calories. Not to say that it can't be eaten and can't be a useful thing as part of a balanced diet. It's just to bear in mind as to how calorie dense some of those treats can be. Second up, we have fruit balls. 275 calories.
I don't think it's there.
260 calories in a cup.
It's it, too.
When it comes in a packet, it's high.
Yep. Mother Earth bar.
Oh, poor old Mr. Avocado.
Starburst.
We were mean to him.
Happy Evo. Ian's cookies. Red Bull. Banana. Apple. Carrot. Wow.
No, we had a bar. We had those nuts or whatever they are. Those things beside the red.
Oh, the
Patrick.
Em's tiny
Yeah.
cookie.
And then you'll have the chocolate bar.
And again, like the numbers don't tell the whole story in terms of nutritive value, but you can see that the more whole food things tend to sit on the lower end, okay, and just how easy it is to consume more calories if you're having more of the processed stuff, even if they're more of the ones that we would consider like they're better for you, okay, so they've got better quality fats and things like that in them. It's just to bear in mind. Questions, comments around that? What do we stuff up mostly? What's the surprise?
Red Bull.
The Red Bull.
Yeah.
It's not a very big can of Red Bull. I believe they've come a lot bigger than that. And I think, again, if you looked at nutritive value or how full or sustained you'd be from having the Red Bull versus the apple,
Doesn't mean go buy Red Bull.
doesn't mean that. No, definitely not.
Doesn't mean drink Red Bull over eating avocado.
You want to bounce off the walls.
Avocado in 2 minutes.
But, you know, it's interesting because people will say, oh, but you've got to be careful with avocados because they're high in fat and eat too much of that. But, you know, like, it's a lot of food that you'd be able to have for a lot less calories than this seems, you know. And I've had people come into my office and say, oh, I try not to eat carrots because I'm always being careful with my carbs. Like, there's not very much carbs in a carrot, so it's not something you have to worry about. Right, starches. What do we have first up on the carbohydrate list for starches?
Oats. No, sorry, rice. Yeah, the little one's the rice.
Kumara? Yep. Okay, just rank, tell me your first three.
Kumara, rice, oatmeal.
Okay.
Rice, oatmeal, kumara.
So first up was oatmeal. And it was a big bowl of oats. 100 grams when it hasn't been cooked is 72 grams of carbohydrate. Second up, we have rice, 28 grams of carbohydrate. Third, I just happened to put in there pasta, but in the pasta is a little bit less than rice at 25 grams. Next is sweet potato.
Got that right.
20 grams of carbohydrate in that sweet potato.
Meant to be Scotland when you put that down one.
So there's 20 grams of there's 20 grams of carbohydrate in the sweet potato. How much do you think's in the pumpkin in the same way?
15.
18.
6.
No way. What? How much is in the kurma, sorry?
20.
20.
That's a huge.
Wow. Beetroot, what do you reckon on the carbs in that?
4. So the other one was 6, so 4.
5. 5 grams of carbs in beetroot and
2 in the corn.
choline is 5.
Yeah.
Well, if I want to get rid of
Might as well
that,
get
I'm
it
going to be
out. So where
I think like twice that kurma is
it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just bearing in mind different foods are different. I also didn't get a chance, but the honey puffs there, what do you reckon 100 grams of honey puffs would be?
Carbohydrates.
Yeah.
180. 20. 28.
100 grams.
35.
Be similar amount to the oats, probably. Well, yeah. Volume.
Oh wait, no, it'd be probably 60 or more grams of carb and 35 of sugar.
Carbohydrates, 100 grams, 78. 78.1.
Yeah.
Hard gaining food.
What's the sugars, right?
How much sugar?
About 5
So 200 grams is 1,600, sorry, there's 382 calories per 100 grams. 24.4 grams of sugar.
That's so bad.
So just bearing in mind how these fit in the whole scheme of things, like we're just talking about carbohydrates here at the moment, but you're looking to only have 40% of your calories from carbohydrate. So if you're having a whole bowl of honey puffs, for example, in the morning, you're going to end up with a high quantity of carbohydrate and not enough protein and fat. Okay, and then you're going to be spending the rest of the day trying to make up that deficit in the other foods. Okay, so much easier to spread your carbs, fat and protein throughout the day and have some in each meal. And also better for your satiety and things like that. Not got too much difference on the calories because most of the calories in these food are coming from the carbohydrates. So we've got oats, then the rice, and the sweet potato, pumpkin, beetroot, and collard beans. So it's the same.
We just about got that one right, except for the beetroot and the pumpkin around the other way.
It's only 1 gram difference.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah, well, we won that one thing.
Let's talk about protein. So what are good sources of proteins, guys? Fish, chicken, good.
Legumes.
Yep. So just put up some different ones there. How much do you think, and how many eats would you need to have to equate to 100 grams of chicken breast? How do you?
Maybe like 4 or 5.
Yeah, so 100 grams of chicken breast has 23 grams of protein in it. Again, just bearing in mind whatever your number is for the day. So how much, if you were doing that as chicken breast, how much that would be. It's quite a lot of chicken breast. You get 6 grams of protein in an egg. Okay, so the old school idea of, you can only have 1 egg or 2 eggs, whatever it was, 3 eggs a week or something. But that's not very much protein. It's also not very much fat.
And that's very bad for anything, right? So that's bad for cholesterol. Eggs make cholesterol.
Yeah.
I bet you can't
Anyone
have
thinks that they're not allowed to exceed 3 eggs a day?
It's a little bit key.
throw that information away. What did you say?
I've stopped that.
I know, but it's still such a mindset of so many girls.
So grandparents have just started putting out eggs and are having 1 or 2 a week.
Just started.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
really
nice.
obsessed with it. Nana's always been a bit.
Yeah, so the old school idea about reducing egg intake was because of cholesterol within eggs, and then they worked out that cholesterol in eggs had no impact on cholesterol in your blood, so it's 2 different.
And also
things.
cholesterol makes up every cell membrane in the body.
Yeah, we need cholesterol, so stuff that one up.
Yeah, listen to the doctor.
Science.
That was a real bullseye.
Everyone's like between chicken breast and steak, we've got 23 grams of protein in chicken breast, 27 grams in the same weight of steak. And then whey protein, who here uses a whey protein?
Pea protein?
So, I haven't done a pea protein on here. Whey protein, a scoop of whey protein, and they're all slightly different. You can read the side, but 22 grams in a scoop. Okay, so we're doing full fat milk, so we hit it home. Check on just a regular milk, but they'll all be slightly different. So 10 grams of protein and a glass of full fat, the farmhouse milk. Greek yogurt, 100 grams of Greek yogurt, you'll get 4.5 grams in there. Almonds, who thinks almonds is a good source? Yeah, it doesn't give you much, like it gives you some, but so this amount here will give you about 6 grams. So again, a little bit in the scheme of things, but salmon's not quite as high, so the fish doesn't tend to be quite as high per weight as the other grass-fed meats and things, but still 21 grams and 100 grams of salmon, and lots of other good things about fish, so nothing against fish. Cool.
We're more of a treat, so it doesn't matter. Not that I eat it, but you know.
So we're working out like this. So 100 grams of steak is not 100 grams of protein, is it?
That's right.
Yeah. So you're really
It's only about 25 grams of protein. Yeah. Does everyone else understand that? You sort of, yes, everyone can get around that? Okay. So we want to split these macros over different meals, and so that's your carbs, fat, and protein. It's much easier to spread those over a bunch of meals. Over the day, you may have perhaps slightly more protein and fat, for example, at breakfast, and have more of your carbohydrate in your post-training meal, or something like that. So there's room to play about with it. If you were doing the zone diet as it was written, you'd stick to those ratios all throughout the day. So you'd have 40% of every single meal would be from carbohydrates, 30% of every meal from fat and from protein. You're measuring to work all this out. I would recommend using an app. There's a bunch of different apps written in that booklet there. I have one that's on my phone, and it allows me just to track throughout the day. So if I'm going to have 100 grams of rice, so I just pop it in there and it will tell me I've already had this much carbohydrate, and you know, I've got this much left that I can have through the day from other sources of food. Okay, so that's a much easier way, so that we can sort of eat a variety of food. If you can track throughout the day, it allows you to keep monitoring. Some people will just eat the same thing every day, and then they know exactly what the amount is of each thing that they can eat, but you're obviously going to miss out on some nutrients and minerals and things if you do that. So I think using a tracking app is probably the better way to go about it. Having said that, just eating the same thing for a while may help you find sort of the amount of food that you need. You can do that measuring either as you do the food prep, so maybe you work out, okay, I've got 100 grams of kumara that I'm going to put in here, and I know that that's my, whatever that is, 50 grams of carbohydrate, and work it out and put it in meals in the fridge and have it all ready to go and know exactly what you're going to have. or maybe you have in your fridge, you already have some protein sources, you already have some different carbohydrate sources, and you basically get your plate, put it on the scales, and put on your 150 grams of whatever, zero that, and then measure out your carbohydrates, so that the likes of your cauliflowers and your cabbage and all your green vegetables, you can measure them, don't really need to, because it's such a small amount of macronutrients in a head of broccoli that you can just say it was about a cup, and you'll be near enough. Normally the measuring things you need to take more into account with the likes of your fat and the likes of your carbs and protein.
I'll just ask a question. So we can talk about 100 grams of chicken. Is that cooked or raw?
Actually, it's really raw, but if you use an app, it'll give you different variations so it'll tell you the amount in the cooked chicken versus the amount in the chicken breast. Right. Just quickly before we get to that. So I've just got here 8 grams of fat on each of these. And I just thought you might like to have a look. So they're all equal amounts of fat. So that's in 2 eggs. It's in about 20 grams of this here, which is a paleo cereal. And a lot of the paleo granolas are quite low carbohydrate, some of them, but some of them quite high fat. So that's fine, but it's just bearing in mind where that sits in the scheme of things. If you're having massive bowls of this, you can end up with some massive amounts of calories, without even sort of realising. But still, it's a good quality food. I'm not saying anything against it. I'm just saying be wary of some of the different paleo products. Half a paleo bar is 8 grams. Not quite a rasher of bacon, so about 3/4 of that rasher of bacon. Quite a few olives. 10 grams of butter, 60 grams of avocado. Okay, so those are equivalent in terms of the amount of fat in them. So sometimes we've kind of got ideas in our mind of what a food is, and when you actually look at the numbers, sometimes it is kind of surprising. I know as I've got into measuring things, I realised how low calorie some of my meals would end up being because I love my greens and things, and so I have to really ensure that I'm putting enough carbohydrates and things in them, because it's really easy for me to undereat. But likewise, it's easy to go, oh, that's about 100 grams of rice, and then when you actually measure it, it can be 200 grams of rice, and that's a big difference, So if you feel like that you might be going wrong a little bit in terms of the amount of food that you're having, just getting the scales out and doing a little bit, just dabbling and seeing where you're at is a good idea. And remember the greens, because the greens really, especially if you feel like you're an overeater, having more greens is not going to greatly affect these numbers. It's going to fill you up, and it's going to give you lots of good stuff for your body. But if you got to the end of all this and you decided you really don't want to get into any weighing and measuring and it's all too complicated, this plate is just a sort of a good guideline, okay? So half of your plate filled with non-starchy vegetables, lots of greens, mushrooms, tomatoes, those kind of things, a palm-sized portion of protein, about a thumb of fat, and then some fruit or something starchy, okay? And it's a really just like generalisation, and all of us are going to be slightly different as to what works, but if this might be like somewhere to head towards if you know that some way you're going to do any weighing and measuring.
It's like I get to steal half a big steak.
And this is also for breakfast, right? Same gig, okay? So this isn't just your lunch and dinner plates. This is breakfast as well. So don't be afraid to add more vegetables to your breakfast. Don't be afraid to add a good portion of protein. So, if 2 eggs is not enough, it may not be. Well, it may not be, and maybe you need to have 3 to 4. Meat for breakfast is fine. Leftovers for breakfast is fine. And remember, your health goals should be sitting above all the other goals that you have. Okay? There's so far that you can take this stuff. When I do my cut for weightlifting, by the end of it, I have my calories down to between 12 and 1400 per day. That's not something that your body can continue to do over any great period of time, and it's not something that I would recommend to anyone in terms of their health and performance, but was something to help me get to that goal, being able to live for New Zealand. So just like bear in mind, have a play, have a tinker when you work out your number, and then you stick to that for a few weeks. Stop and check in. How is that working for you? If you're gaining weight or losing significant weight, or you're not feeling good in the gym, tinker with it. Like, don't stick to it like it's a hard and fast number and this is what the computer said. But you need to do it for a few weeks to kind of actually see where you're at. Yeah.
Because a lot of people undereat, like you were saying, and mess up their metabolism a bit.
Yeah.
So what would you say, what's a good approach if they want to try and get to that maintenance, that ideal maintenance, but they're like, metabolism is sluggish? Do you just go straight to that?
No, I think you need to do it over time, and particularly, like, I sort of felt like I had that same thing coming off the weight cut, and that my metabolism was really slow, like I was really cold and things like that, like I knew that my body wasn't functioning how it should have been. Likewise, you can't suddenly start eating a huge volume of food because your digestive system isn't really used to that amount. So it actually for me, that took about 3 weeks to actually be able to bring the calories back up. And I just did what I could in terms of, I've really increased all things like carbs, fat and protein. But probably pushed a wee bit more fat in there as well, because I knew I'd been really deprived of that. So I don't know if there's an easy answer to that. I think you've just got to work away at it and be committed to just continuing to get towards whatever your goal amount is.
I know for me, trying to lose baby weight after Xavier, I was using MyFitnessPal and being quite obsessive about what I was eating and counting calories and things, and it just didn't work. And in the end, I just went, I just don't eat what I want, and then it all came off because I ate the right kind of stuff. But when I was too focused on it, it just wasn't.
Yeah, and that was sort of just like I sort of mentioned in passing at the start. Like, it can make some people totally lose their mind in the wrong way. Like, if you're a bit more of a moderator and it just it doesn't fit with you to be sort of under any regimen, and it just makes you go, oh my god, I just want to go out and eat all the chocolate because I'm not supposed to be having the chocolate. It's probably, it may not be the right approach, and maybe just, more of this is all that you need to focus on. But, if you feel like you're doing you're eating all the right foods and things, but you're not getting the results you want, it's just somewhere that to take a look at. Yeah. But definitely counting things is not right for everyone. Yeah. But you probably learned something from it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I did.
Yeah.
Always learning.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yes. Right. Who's going to give it a nudge?
Yep.
Can you have a look?
I'm a bit scared though of how much I've got to eat now. I realise if I want to build more muscle, I've got to eat like a lot of carbs.
Yeah.
A lot of everything actually.
Yeah.
Molly.
Yeah. A lot of protein.
Yeah, it's the easiest. It's the
carb
and protein.
Yeah. Yeah, particularly if you don't generally eat very much sugar, it does work out to be quite a lot of food. Yeah. If you haven't a few Cliff bars, you're good to go.
Maybe I should just chuck one of them in the mix, it'll be good.
Get some of the honey in your seed.
I do eat a lot of honey. How much is honey?
Depends on what you sell it for.
Just type it into Google and it'll tell you. Yeah.
Had 2 teaspoons before I came in.
Breakfast is a tricky one
I think it's when the honey's got about 4 grams of carbs.
So when you're going into production, Seth,
Pardon?
when you're going into production,
Come summer.
We've got the private outlet.
That is.
And let's try and eat the bees.
Yeah, and then he gets stuck inside his mouth. And then he goes back for more.
Eat This Much is the app that I use. There's heaps of different ones. This one's actually quite American, so it doesn't have a lot of our branded foods. That doesn't bother me too much because I don't eat a lot of branded foods anyway. I'm normally putting the whole foods into it. But this one will actually spit out a meal plan, so and this can generate out a meal plan based on him eating paleo for 2,940 calories, and it punches out a.
You get an email every week, as well.
So it's based on the proportions of 40% fat, 30% carbs, and 30% protein, but you can change around, so it would be more like this. The orange one.
Okay. So it was Eat This Much.
Eat This Much, yeah.
Those links will work when I put the stuff up online like I did last week.
Oh, yeah.
You obviously can't click your piece of paper, but I'll...
Good one, Dan.
Just in case you were wondering. So get there.
So this might interest you guys. So this is just a basic plan that it's put together for almost 3,000 calories a day. So